Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA, Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangster Chronicles. Ew.
Gangster Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Ew.
Gangster Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the James.
Go right there. We'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of the Gangster Chronicles podcast, and I'm with my homeboys.
Hey, Jay. Chill.
You know, back in the 90s, New York ran the game, and then Death Row came and the game changed. You know what I'm saying? 2000 said the South had something to say, and here they are today. In 1991, four homies would come together to further Atlantis movement. T-Mo, Big Gip, Cool Joe, and CeeLo, now known to the world as Goodie Mob, will hit the scene. One of the first cliques in the South. If the Dungeon family were superheroes, they would definitely be the Justice League. Their debut album, Soulful, dropped in 95. Laced with super producer Rico Wade's beats, these brothers showed the world that the South had real lyricists. And they forced the world to bow down, as a matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? And then they came up with the phrase, the Dirty South. A lot of people don't get y'all credit for that, you know what I'm saying? Let's welcome my niggas, the Goodie Mob. What's cracking, y'all?
Hey,
What's happening?
So,
bro,
Tello.
What a great introduction, my brother. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, that's what we had to do it, man. You know, in the presence of kings, man, you got to treat them as such. You feel what I'm saying?
That's why I keep telling your ass, do the intros, nigga. Get it. Fucking articulate ass motherfucker.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it like that. Nigga be saying, welcome Guilty Mob to Gangster Chronicles. I'll be done. I can't do all that.
I like it, though,
it.
man. I respect. Hey, appreciate you, brother.
Man,
Good shit.
It's all good, man. We gonna have some fun today. You know, back, man, when y'all started, man, I look at the South as our cousins, man. You know, the West Coast and the South, we always got along real good. I see a lot of the homies running around out here. We go, and vice versa. You know, we go down there, man. And, you know, like my roots, man, from Mississippi and Memphis, Tennessee, 8. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi and Florida, James.
Yeah, yes, indeed. I'm Mississippi. I'm Gulfport, Mississippi, and Tampa Bay, Florida. Them is my roots.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Damn, I never knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah, my mom is from Gulfport, Mississippi, so I took plenty of trips down to Gulfport.
Right.
Right. And when we used to jump in the car and everything, man, and ride down south, man. And I ain't gonna say, man, that New York was necessarily hating because the fans is cool. They fuck with it, you know what I'm saying? But when, you know, the West first came out, man, because you know, Luke and Mr. Mix from Two Live Crew is good friends of mine. They told me how them cats used to cut the lights out on them when they was on stage, you know, just doing all kind of stuff, man. When y'all first came in the game, man, what kind of resistance did y'all meet from the East Coast?
I'm gonna take that one.
Go ahead.
The first video, as soon as we dropped Cell Therapy, we got banned from MTV. They labeled us as racist. So as soon as we came out, we was hit with a ceiling because we were speaking something different than what was going on during the days. But I mean, like you said, it really was never the people in New York. It was just always the people up in them buildings. They just wasn't gonna respect where we was from. And I think we always put it like this, like the first time we went to the Source Awards, that was the first time that I think all of us saw each other in the flesh. We had just been watching all of us, everybody was watching each other on BET. But I mean, that night at the Source Awards, that's the first night I really got to see 8. That's the first night I seen Quick. That's the first night I seen Death Row and everybody in the flesh, Wu-Tang. And I feel like from that night, we left there just feeling like we gonna make the music. We gonna make the music to make them respect us. And I know that's the same way the West Coast felt that night. Like, yo, man, like we ain't earned the respect. Give us the respect. So we left there with that chip on our shoulder, like, we gonna kick your ass, man, for the next 10 years. And we did that.
Y'all for sure did that, man, because I know out here, man, And I don't know how they can deem the Cell Therapy song as racist, man. You know,
Yeah, because what was basically considered racist, the content that they said y'all was talking about, I mean, or the images of the videos. I mean, because MTV, I mean, the video motherfuckers, they was banning a lot of our shit back then. I mean, myself included. You feel me?
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm not sure why they wrote it off as racist. And I just think that, you know, the information, you know, that we was dealing with and that we was exposing or addressing, you know, I just felt like they had to be able to classify it in some regard and where they can write it off or default the song. Because we was, you know what I mean? Because we was, you know, we was being effective with the information too. You know, it was becoming a hit record at the time. That's what I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Y'all definitely came with the Cell Therapy record, man. Y'all talked about that was really like a prophecy almost. All the shit y'all talked about in that record, man, is happening right now. Did that ever fuck y'all up?
Yeah. Man, looked at the shit, man. It was some of that stuff was actually happening right then. It just wasn't publicized. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nobody to speak on it. You know what I mean? So we were speaking on it. Folk just not really connecting with it because it's in everybody's face right now. You know, so we talking about pre-iPhone. You know what I mean? That was before this generation. You know what I mean? It's something totally different. We from a total different time zone, time warp. So the information that we passing right now so fast is just, man, I'm just thankful, man, that right now we relevant, man. People got an ear for what we got to say, man. I'm glad y'all were able to hear that shit, man, because the shit, man, is serious right now. If you look at what's going on, we got a different president in place, but you know, what's the underlying issue that we don't see right now? What's the unseen hand right now? You can't get too relaxed. Yeah, we got a vaccine. Who gonna take it? You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to take it. I don't want to take it, but some people take it. So it's like, you know, it's a big money play. It's a big money play right now, bro.
It's as they say they using weapons of mass distraction.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's the thing right there. It's like in Atlanta, y'all see me so different because it's a black city. It's like I was telling Git before we came on, I went down there because my mama lived down there. That shit is like Wakanda. It feels so good to walk in a soul food restaurant without seeing a Japanese person back there cooking my greens. There ain't nothing against Japanese people, but I go in out. You know, when you go to a soul food restaurant, you want to see a big black woman that look like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Just like if I go to a taco place, I want to see a Mexican dude back there fucking with my tacos. I don't want to go back there and see no nigga fucking with my tacos.
Not even on Taco Tuesday. Not even on Taco Tuesday.
Well, you know, black tacos is different than Mexican tacos, dog.
Yeah,
Black
motherfucker, you know, you see a nigga back there cooking some tacos, nigga, you finna get nothing but ground beef and cheese, nigga. You ain't getting nothing else.
You already know.
I want carne asada on my food.
And I was always able to make the connection between the South and the West Coast, because you know we was doing khaki suits and Cortez too. You know what I'm saying? So even in the fashion, you know what I'm saying, or maybe the drawl or the way that we spoke. You know what I mean? I had always made that connection with the West Coast. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, we're cousins because you know when I go down to if you remember back in the 90s, man, you know when you would go to Houston, Atlanta, different places, we all dressed the same. The reason we wore things in church because that shit was cheap. No, it was cheap, but it just like it influenced. It influenced.
That was our uniform, man. That was our daily motherfucking uniform, a khaki suit and shit. It defined who we were as motherfuckers with our signature on the West Coast. You know, it was our staple. You know what I'm saying? Wearing a khaki suit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of picked up. And I think from the South gravitated because, like I said, I went to the South a lot to take trips, you know, summer vacations and shit like that, family reunions. You know, I never ventured to the East Coast. until I signed a record deal. You get me?
Yeah.
So most of my family vacations and summer vacations was going down to Gulfport, Mississippi, or going to Houston, Texas, or Louisiana, somewhere like that. So I think that's where the music trying to made us cousins, because we kind of familiarized ourselves with each other.
Yeah. And it was fun. It was funny. It was funny because.
Go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
What's the difference between LA and Atlanta? What's the difference between LA and New York? I mean, to me, I look at real motherfuckers as real motherfuckers. And back then, you had real motherfuckers rapping, the majority of them, and opposed to now. So it really wasn't no different to me. Whenever I went out of town with Suge, you still had to be ready, because, you know, motherfuckers say, oh, them motherfuckers ain't killers down there. Bullshit. Everybody killers. I mean, you know, you got rappers all over the place. But what made it different? I still don't understand that. What's the difference between Atlanta and LA when it comes to hardcore rap?
Well, I'll tell you what the difference is, OG. The difference is that in Atlanta, gangsters couldn't be gangsters on the outside, because the gangsters in this city was considered king, was considered Abernathy, was considered those kind of people. Those were the real gangsters, because to us, they beat the system. So when it came to street shit, like, real gangsters really had to talk to them politicians back then. Like Hosea Williams was a real gangster, but he wore a suit. You know what I mean? So it was just the presentation of it was totally different. And it was about damn near, it was in the church. Those were church men that was doing all that, that was doing those were actual people out of church. But at the same time too, gangsters were they were different. Like I didn't know the difference between West Coast and Southern gangsters till I went to Denver, Colorado. And my cousin used to get up, and that was the first time I got introduced to gangbanging. And when he would get up in the morning, he would instantly get an iron out, do his t-shirt, do his khakis. That was his everyday shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was sitting there like, damn, like, he was like, yo, this our uniform. You know what I mean? This is what we do. And I didn't, that was the first time that I got in the car and they went on Who Rides. That was the first time that I heard E40 in the clique, Too Short, y'all. You know what I mean? That was the first time, and to be able to be in a gang-banging environment, when I came back home, I was turned out. Because it was like...
Always got love out here.
It was like something I had never experienced before. So I didn't recognize what it was until I got into the environment of gangbang. It's a difference when you see people on TV and they wearing the khakis and you like you never knew why Eazy-E wore khakis and had a skull cap on, because you like, y'all in the West Coast, it should be hot every day. But you get out there and see that at night it get cool, you need your flannel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when I got to Denver and I got around other gangbangers, I saw how the dress and the environment all made sense.
Exactly. Now let me ask you this, man.
I understand. That's when I really understood that the uniform with gangbanging is it's a reason why, because they consider themselves soldiers and platoons, and these are sets, and this is our uniform. And you don't know that when you're watching it from the kid's standpoint on this side of the TV. You know what I mean? When I watch it, you know what I mean? So you don't know it until you get into the environment. Why Cortez is why you wear Cortez.
Yeah, exactly. It's the
many niggas down here that wore Dickies, them niggas actually used to work on cars. You know what I'm talking about? Working in a warehouse. That type of that'd be their work clothes. I mean, they weren't actually banging, but they was like some family niggas that if you fuck with them, with their family, then it's on. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, to this day, I know a 60-something-year-old dude that wear Dickies, and he just wear Dickies because shit, you can go to Walmart and get your clothes from Dickies. You get your clothes, and you got to spend a whole bunch of goddamn money on those clothes like they're doing right now. So I definitely double hand saluted y'all, man, for that shit, man. Because shit, we were wearing them whole suits, them whole overalls. You know what I mean? It's just really just in the trap. You know what I'm saying? Just that was our trap gear. You know what I'm talking about? Up under that shit, we just had our regular clothes. But once we jumped into that shit, it was time to go to work. Whether you was clocking in 9 to 5 or whether you was traveling from 9 to 5. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So I mean, it ain't really no big difference between us. It's just a time zone, really.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
Well, I say that every time I do records, or when I used to put out records and shit, and I used to talk to motherfuckers, I always wrote my records in the presence of niggas is all the same everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If we got niggas like this in my neighborhood, it's niggas just like this down in Atlanta, Mississippi, Texas, New York. So I always base my shit upon that because I never tried to base it on we were the only gangsters or whatever. Like James would say, shit, niggas is hard everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Niggas will shoot you wherever. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter wherever the fuck you at. You do a nigga dirty and he about his business, nigga, you gonna catch that heat. So we related and sort of our struggles and the poverty and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? All our parents came from one place. You get me?
Yeah. We got all doing music though. That really connects us. You know what I'm saying? Like jazz and like blues and like soul music. You feel what I'm saying? So all that shit connect us because we pouring our life in this shit. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, yeah, you can dance to this shit every now and then, but when you really start listening to this shit, niggas just pouring out their hearts and their souls about what the fuck going on in their neighborhood and you know what I'm saying, shit like that. So I look at that, the music too, man. That shit connects us all, man. So it ain't that much of a difference. You know what I'm talking about?
That's right.
Got you.
My bad, big.
It's funny to me too. It's like when Mob James said Suge, it's like we never looked at Suge as being threatened. Like we just like where we from, big dudes all the time, you know, big country, you know what I mean? Like he just big, you know what I mean? He was always cool with us, like we, you know what I mean? So like that, when I got around them, like soon as that night after the Source Awards, that's the first night I met Corrupt and Dad. So it was like we've been cool ever since. Like everybody that I ever met from the West Coast, it's like we still together 20 years later. Like I can go to Dad's house, still where you at, Ricardo? You know what I mean? It's like
that's right.
Like, for all the ones that we met back then. I mean, I remember when Snoop used to bring Timo and Cujo got their weed to the Lamontros in the Pathfinder.
You know the thing is, man, and that lead up to my point, right? Y'all get guns easy as hell down there. Everybody and their mama got a pistol on that motherfucker, man. How is that, like, has that had an impact on the gun violence down in the city?
Man, white folk got pistols. Matter of fact, they don't damn near bought all of them. You know what I mean? So they really down with that second. Is that the Second Amendment? Mm-hmm. Is that the second? Did you able to bear arms? And these white folk down here take that shit like a commandment. You know what I mean? It's almost like they looking at you like, damn, why you ain't strapped? I mean, cause I see old white folk down here going up in Kroger in the grocery store, getting out the car strapped with their shit on them. You know what I mean? So the thing really is, it's really black on black though, really. You know what I'm talking about? At the end of the day, we got really more of that than they got them white on black. You know what I'm talking about? They just, once they got them put it on the news that a police done shot a black person, then that's when niggas get really emotional. But if you look at the statistics, they shoot more white folk than that. You know what I mean? We just got more run-ins with the police. You know what I mean? We got
more run-ins with the police because Atlanta is a special kind of city at the same time. This is the only city that you're going to have Crips, Bloods, GDs, Vice Lords, and Mexican gangs. You're not gonna have that in LA. You're not gonna have Crips having beef with GDs. That's gonna be it's like that in Atlanta. Cause it's enough Chicago people here that's bringing their culture here, and it's enough LA people here and then you got the people from Atlanta that has gravitated to one side of that culture, either to the Chicago drill culture or to the LA gang culture. But it's all a mesh in Atlanta. So that's why right now you having a lot of shootings, because you having a lot of people that's really banging on each other, that's not even supposed to be banging on each other. But in this city, they're just they side by side. That's
the thing about it is, you got shit like World Star, right? And you got niggas brandishing pistols all on World Star, right? You know what I'm saying? White folks see that shit too. So they scared too. They scared that motherfucker too. So that's why all the goddamn AR-15 pistols, damn near you can't damn near find them unless you build that shit on your own. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, this is what these niggas listening to, and they on some new type of dope too. You know what I mean? We came up off of brown weed first. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? And when we came out to LA, we really was like, oh man, but that shit didn't make us come back to Atlanta and shoot motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about? It had that effect like that. So it's something else going on, man, to where the gun violence amongst our own people, you know what I'm saying, is goddamn is at an all-time high.
Well, today you don't have leadership. Today you don't have that big homeboy or that one guy you can look up to that's telling you that this shit ain't cool. So you got a mix of motherfuckers out there drinking like a lean and all that other shit, which we didn't have that back in the days. And then you got motherfuckers crank, cocaine, blow, all that different type of shit that they can't even handle, but they use it. And they don't give a fuck why they own it. So that's the big problem that we have in the inner city, in the hood. You know, we doing shit that wasn't heard of back then. So you don't have that control. You know what I'm saying? And nobody want to take the initiative to grab hold of it. So it is what it is right now. And it's gonna stay that way until you find somebody to slow these young cats down. The white folks carry their guns. If a nigga see a white man with a gun, first thing he gonna say, "Oh, I ain't fucking with him." But he gonna fuck with me and see me with the same goddamn pistol.
Damn.
You know, the white man ain't gonna fuck with him. He gonna kill him. He think I ain't gonna kill him. And that's the goddamn problem.
A lot of our shit, if you look at a lot of our shit from back in the days, you know, with banging and shit, we represented as far as, you know, our neighborhoods and the blocks we came from, whatever. But getting into the music, we really didn't have the avenues, so to speak, because like I said, the record labels would ban us, video stations would ban us if we promoted our shit to a certain extent of gangbanging. The youth of today are living their affiliations through their music. I mean, let's face it.
Some of them are.
The ones that, you know, we get the violence from the hip hop, whatever. They live in their affiliations through their music. You know, we got a lot of set claiming. We got a lot of, you know, fuck your hood. This is my hood. We this, we that, you know, and niggas is carrying that beef across states. You feel me? Like, we had little beefs in our music, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, but for the most part, we concentrated on our shit, on just trying to get our shit out and our subjects or whatever. We didn't really concentrate too much on that motherfucker across town or whatever. But now that you got the access that the youth got, You get me? You know what I'm saying? I could start beefing with a nigga down in Atlanta with the hit hit of a button. You get me? And then I could jump, you know what I'm saying? The niggas want to venture to towns and shit, and they thinking, you know, I'm harder than this nigga. And like I said, you coming to my town and beefing with me across 5 states and shit, and then you show up acting like you hard, it's gonna end in a lot of gang violence. You know what I'm saying? Because
but hey, look at this. If I saw a Goodie Mob video, I seen cats having a good time, partying, rapping, doing their thing. You watch one of our videos, I might have to kill that motherfucker if I ever ran into him.
Exactly.
That type of shit. It was a big difference, dog. You know what I'm saying? You didn't feel like I had to carry my gun to this video shoot. It was totally different. It was. We
didn't allow it, OG. We didn't allow it. We was so you know, like being in the 90s, it was hands on.
Exactly.
You was either respected or you wasn't. Niggas pushed you in your face and kicked you up your ass, man, if they ain't respect you. You couldn't talk no tough shit. You couldn't do none of that shit. So it's like being from that era and now being in this era, it's almost like, man, it's like day and night. Because like Eight said, you can start a beef with somebody. And most of these beefs these folk get into on the internet. So you like, what's the end all to this game? What's the end all to this game? Well, it's just like what I learned. They said, Gip, what's bigger than a superstar? A dead superstar. The game now is push these kids until somebody knock their wig off. Now we control their whole life and their whole essence. We just waiting on somebody to knock 6ix9ine head off, and whoever been putting that money on his head, they gonna live forever. So if you look at it right now, it's kind of turning into a very evil game right there in hip hop, especially when it comes to dead rappers being pimped by other rappers.
You're right.
I don't know if I heard some country niggas beefing. Oh goddamn! Have I heard country?
Yeah, I don't get that. You know, like I said, the system today is that motherfuckers beef for popularity. You know, I never got that. You know, how we did records and music back in our days, we got popular and we got known off our pure music and what we could spit about. And if you could spit, nigga, then you was there. The game right now is I need to prove that I can talk more shit than you, and my hood is better than you, my block is better than you. Fuck your record and fuck your. We didn't do that. Nigga put out a record back in our days. If it wasn't to each his own, nigga, that's him. You know what I'm saying? How you feel about so-and-so's record? Nigga, in the interview, I would be like, hey, you know, hey, it's all right. You know, it is what it is. You know, he doing, as long as the nigga ain't saying nothing about me. Nowadays, it's like, how you feel about this nigga record? Oh, that shit suck. That shit suck. Fuck that nigga. Fuck them. They ain't better than so-and-so block over here or so-and-so hood or town. Nigga, we the hardest motherfuckers around. Fuck you, nigga. And if you got beef, nigga, come on through, nigga. We out here. You get me? That's what niggas ain't civilized, man, in the rap game no more, man.
Yeah. You know, one question I wanted to ask y'all real quick, man. Atlanta has and if anybody say otherwise, they hate you. Atlanta has a strong hold on rap and hip hop right now, and it ain't going nowhere no time soon. But they got some dope lyricists. I heard some real dope kids down there. I don't see some. It's real creative down there, man. Do you guys do a lot of intermingling with the younger artists in the city?
Yeah, see, Lo just did something with Lo.
We definitely stay connected to the youth. You know what I mean? Whether it's you know, just the reverence and the respect, or you know, or just acknowledging, you know what I mean, like, you know, what they contributed and the work and the quality, you know, that they continue and representing the city. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a lot of love and acknowledgement. I will say that. Like, I just got through doing a record with Earth Gang, and they get a lot of, there's some new young cats. They signed to J. Cole, and they dope. You know what I'm saying? You know, they get a lot of Outcast comparisons. So they come across like children of the Dungeon family. The obvious influence is there. You can see it. It's obvious but they're doing their own thing with it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we can salute that and we can support it. So if anything, we want to get underneath them and be that support system, be in their corner. You know, if they want to come and, you know, sit and get some OG game, get some advice, and so on and so forth. A lot of the conversations are really intimate and personal and casual in that way, because this is like what I like to call a big little city. You know what I'm saying? And then OGA, I want to cap off something that you were saying earlier too. You know, attention, bro. You know, attention is a drug, man. It's highly addictive. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, these kids, man, what they dealing with, you know, they dealing with pain too. I mean, so with the drug use, you know, it's a difference between drug use and drug abuse. So we all in pain. You know what I'm saying, right? We stay in pain. You feel me? Right. If it ain't something else, right? So if they dealing with pain, you know, this is their way. They deal with it by their issue is sedation, and they don't know how to deal with it directly or maturely as adults, because they're not adults, they're kids with a new toy. Right. You know what I'm saying? So in that altered state, they're not even themselves. They're not in constant communication with an actual self. It hasn't been realized yet. So the motherfuckers that's committing these murders are those alter egos and those personas, you know, which can still classify as spirits or jinns or evil. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you know, the open carry shit around here in Georgia, I fuck with that because it's not supposed to instigate or aggravate. It's really supposed to be a disclaimer that conserves and preserves life. If you know a nigga got it on him, you know what I'm saying, you feel me? You might want to think twice about that. So I think every place should be open carry. Really, it'll save more lives, if you ask me.
Right, that's right.
Exactly. If you see with a pistol on this side, I'm sorry, James, go ahead.
What'd you say?
I seen some ignorant shit with these young cats doing now. They walk up on you while your pistol in your holster and take that motherfucker and run out the store with it.
Yeah, that's the nigga that don't deserve to have no motherfucking pistol. He tripping. I seen it. I mean, that on TV a couple times. That nigga laying him up.
Great.
I'm gonna tell you how. You know how stupid shit run through your brain. You know how stupid shit run through your mind. You know what I'm saying? And you see somebody with a pistol, you like, man, I wonder if I could just take that motherfucker. I'm like, no. Stop it. Don't stop that shit. But motherfuckers are actually recording motherfuckers doing that shit, man. Taking that shit, and when they do like this, then nigga like, they're running out the store, man.
Shit, though, Joe. We all don't want it to be. Man, look how the game go, though, bro. Even when niggas wear jewelry and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wear jewelry too, and I know the emotion that it stems from. Like, really, this is how fucked up we are toward each other, man. This is how deep it goes with our self-hatred and hatred for our own brother. You know what I mean? Is the fact that we wear jewelry, rub it in another nigga's face. You try to create a goddamn excuse so you can kill another man.
Exactly. Wow.
I'm telling you that for a fact, because that's how I felt. It's a dare. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, you know, like, you just need a valid enough excuse to get busy. Because a lot of times niggas want to get the strike. I done been one of them young knucklehead niggas, so I know how it feels. The power surge. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then a lot of the time niggas want to get them be built a certain way to survive and to compare, to relate, to, you know, like, to be counted, to be in the number. You know what I'm saying? That's how niggas get put on, because they see other niggas that's real with it. So, you know, with us, man, you got to be born in, not sworn in, how they say. You know, G is a blood type that you can't get no transfusion for. You just can't go to the doctor and become no G, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, man.
Exactly.
These boys need a daddy.
Gangster by nature, not by choice. God damn it.
Come on, man.
What you say, James? Tell him what you
Gangster
say,
by
James.
nature, not by choice.
That's right.
It's pushing that, man. Yeah, the G's got PTSD, man. Like, because we got to stay woke all the time, man. We don't get no days off, man, being G's. These civilians and these squads, man, they got it good. Bullet hit them in the back of the head, man. Shit, they ain't missed a beat. Damn, man. They don't have the burden, man. They don't have the burden, man. You know what I mean? But shit, I just want to. I got energy, man, because I'm in the room with the OG, man. You know, I'm feeling good. OG 8, man, represent Traganu. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Mob James, Pyru, Big Steel. You already know. I love y'all niggas, man. And I love the platform too. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Good luck.
Hey. I was just watching that the Stick of the Water the other night. I forgot you was in that motherfucking movie, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That, a little contribution, just a little bit.
Nah, nigga, you done did a lot. Ain't you one of my favorites too, man? You need to know that, man.
Good luck, man. I've been following y'all since the beginning, man. Like I said, I've always been a nigga interested in different forms of music, not just on some gangster shit. And y'all set the platform for, for other niggas to know that it wasn't just about New York or West Coast. You know what I'm saying? So it made me proud to be able to have some cousins from down south, you know what I'm saying, to represent, man. And I'm banging looking through my window every day, all day, man. It's one of those classics, man, that everybody from out here, man, I don't give a fuck who you are, man. Y'all put out music that is a staple for even us on the West Coast. You feel me?
Right. You know what we realized, OG? Man, we realized that shit, man. At the end of the day, it's even more gangster to be an individual, to be your natural self. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So you gotta be alone in that. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You gotta be alone at first until you inspire other individuals. You know what I mean?
That's right. Exactly.
Exactly, man. And you know, one thing I'm gonna go back to earlier, what you said, man. That's dope that y'all fucking with the kids because I was an A&R for a publishing company, man, for 6 years, and I saw kids take the most fucked up deals, even after I told them not to. Even after I said, "Hey, man, check this out. Go to your attorney, man, and tell them to change this, that, and the third." I'm gonna tell you a thing that happened to me. I had a kid I signed from Texas, man. For one of the few kids they let me sign. You know, them motherfuckers quick to give you a pen with no ink in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
What they want you to do is do paperwork and research all day, right? And you got to go ask some 50-year-old white motherfucker. No diss to the white folks out there, but you got to ask some 50-year-old white motherfucker. Hey, well, let me do the research on them, and I'll get back to you, right? So I tell this kid, man, I say, hey, man, we just got a platinum plaque, dog. You know, with ice cream plank job shit, right? He music and everything. I said, my nigga, you about to start making a little change. I said, tell them motherfuckers you don't want a co-publishing deal no more because it was just time to re-up, right? You don't want a co-pub deal no more. And they had the nigga in perpetuity type shit. And the nigga, okay, big dog, I got you. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Man, he got in front of them white folks, man, and they put that money out there, cash money, man. That motherfucker, man, dog, yeah, I went ahead to resign. I think it's best for me. And that motherfucker sitting at home, I think he got working a job right now, some shit, dog, because he's so frustrated. You know, so I think it's important, man, that we give these cats, man, the game, man, for the ones that will listen.
Right.
Like you said, it's a whole nother level of dope. These motherfuckers is on Percocets, all kind of shit. Right. I saw a motherfucker one time, man, I was in the studio with glasses, man. I saw a motherfucker take 3 Percocets, chew them motherfuckers, and chase it down with some lean.
Dang.
You know what I saw his ass doing about an hour later when he woke up, talking about he couldn't breathe. I said, man, you can take your ass to the hospital. Your ass probably about
that nigga still said, yeah, you need to take your ass to the hospital. You crazy motherfucker.
I wanted to ask this question though, man. You know, and this for the homie Cujo, man. You was in a car accident in 2001. And I got to give it up to you, dog. You be out there getting it in, dog. How did that impact you, like mentally, man? You know the physical part. How did that impact you, like, you know what I'm saying, in the head, man, and everything? Your accident.
That shit it impacted me real fucked up, man, because now that I look back onto it, it was a selfish move for me because I'm leaving the club, you know what I'm saying, lit. You know what I'm talking about? And I got to drive home. You feel me? So I made a fucked up decision to do that. You know what I'm saying? So not only when I did that, I put my family in a bind. You know what I'm saying? I put my group in a bind. So it was bad. It was a bad decision making on my part. You know what I'm talking about? To do that shit. You know what I mean? So even though I made that drive plenty of time, you know what I'm saying, from the club lit, you know what I'm talking about? But it was just that time for it to happen to me, you know what I'm talking about? Because, hey, shit, it just is what it is, you know what I'm talking about? So I had to learn a lot from that shit, man, you know what I'm talking about? And I got to deal with that shit for the rest of my life. And I got sons too, so it was supposed to happen to me because I didn't die at that time, you feel what I'm saying? So it's something for me to let my sons know and keep teaching them about shit. You gotta think first, man. Don't make no stupid, dumbass decisions to do shit like that. I'm talking about. So it impacted me a lot, bro, because I had to sit down and reevaluate myself. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, I just shut down for a while. I just shut down for a minute, bro. But you know, Most High showed mercy on me, bro. You know what I'm talking about? I'm a dirtbag ass nigga, but the Most High showed mercy on me at that time, bro. If it wasn't as terrible as it was, I'd have had a DUI, bro. I'd have been fucked up.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, like I said, man, you hear, and the reason I asked is to touch on with me. I had a homeboy that I'm real close with, man. And when I tell you, me and him played college football together, right? And I tell you, he was a nigga that ran a 4.3 40, man, could jump, and this nigga wasn't nothing but 5'10". He could jump on the back of a truck, you know, just jumping that motherfucker. Yeah. The most incredible athlete I ever seen, man. And he lost his leg. Somebody shot him and he lost his, you know what I'm saying? And I remember, man, I was talking to him one night and he hit me up and he was talking about man, I got everything took from me. And I had to tell him, I said, man, God got another purpose for you. You know, God got another purpose for you. Just seeing the stuff he go through, man. You know, I don't know you personally, man, but salute. Because you out there doing your thing, moving and shaking.
Like I said, you know, the Most High, my family, and the mob, you know what I'm talking about? That was my goddamn, that was my leaning point, you know what I mean? But it's like you gotta keep going, because I remember being little, man, in the neighborhood, and I remember seeing dogs in the neighborhood. And then you had one leg missing. But that motherfucker, I see them the next day, then I see him the next day. I was like, damn, boy, that shit got to be tough, bro. I'm talking about you got to goddamn fend for yourself with 3 legs and you a dog in the neighborhood, Northwest Atlanta, goddamn Hollywood Road, goddamn busy place. Zone goddamn 1. You know what I'm saying? Damn. So now I think about that same shit. Like, shit, if I still got that, you know what I'm saying, still got the drive, still got the motivation to do it, I might as well do it, because there's going to be a time where a nigga can't do it. You got to keep it real. There's going to be a time when nigga ain't going to do it. So nigga got to go as hard as he can right now, you know what I'm saying, regardless of the criticism, regardless of whatever, nigga just got to go hard and deal with that shit later. You know what I mean? So it's like a goddamn tomorrow ain't promised type of attitude. You know what I'm saying? With me, especially with Survival Kit album, it's like a tomorrow ain't promised. See what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? Some of our greats are just dying off on, like Prince Marky D. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this is what we do. You know what I mean? And we got to keep putting music out. And they done got it to what now it's about streaming now. So it's almost like, damn, you got to work double time. Now you got to put more music. And then you got to goddamn, you know, got to put bread over here for this playlist, the bread over here to market this type of shit. So it's like, old white folks do it every day, man. One finger missing, one eye gone, shit, kid. I mean, foot gone, diabetes. They got to keep it going for the kids, bro. That's what we do.
Exactly.
That's type of people we are, man. We got them in the face of adversity. We get stronger. Them type of people we are. That's the type of people we come from.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely in our lineage, man, to just keep pushing forward, man, through adversity, man. And you know, Hip, my nigga. This is something I've been meaning to. I've been wanting to ask you, and I told myself, I said, we interview these niggas, man, because I had a question. You got some pimp bones in your body, don't you, dog?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pimp bones in you. Have you ever been out on the blade before, man?
Huh?
Have you ever been out on the blade before? Have you ever pimped before?
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
Like, no problem, nigga. Shit, let me just.
With no hesitation. And I'm going to tell you, man, you know, my uncles, man, I'm originally from Ohio, right? I come from a long line of pimps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my uncle Boogie used to tell me, man, it ain't in you, but it's on you. You know what I'm saying? So you can just tell certain niggas the way they move, man, and everything, man. Let me ask you this, bro.
Yeah, that's a skill that, you know, man, like for us 90s folks, you know, the world changed for us.
Right.
The world changed, man. When that 2000 hit, that 2005, a lot of things, you know, the way the world was moving. Well, you know what I mean? It's just, once you've been in the game for 10 years, you get tired. You get tired. You get tired of the whole rigmarole. You trying to find other things to do. And man, you know, in them dark places, man, you know, them street skills kick in, man, when the industry ain't there. You know what I mean? And, and you know, when it get dark, man, shit, before we drown, we gonna pull out that light jacket. And one thing about it, man, you know, women gonna take care of a goddamn the right one. You talk to her, right? So hey, man, you know, you either gonna choose drugs or you gonna choose the game. So
that's,
you know,
shit. Because you know these guys out here pimping now with dope, man, and you know, snatching the young girls up, which I ain't with, man. But I saw my uncle, man. He's still with his bottom woman. They got kids together. You know, I got cousins and stuff, and they're out there like doing their thing, chilling, dog. But at one time, man, my uncle was like 10 deep.
Yeah.
And never to put his hands on their broad. He just talked and they moved.
Yeah. Some people got that skill, man. I learned it young, and you know,
you like that shit, huh? Still, you like that, huh?
Yeah, man. That's my type. From the way he dressed.
James, what's wrong? What's wrong with him, James?
Man, my nigga James don't. I think it's something don't happen with his phone. He'll be back on here in a minute. But you know, one thing, man, I want to tell y'all cats, man, it's good to have y'all back in the game, man, because I'm not never gonna be one of them old niggas dissing with the young cats who's doing that they shit. You feel what I'm saying? This they time, now they doing what they do. But we got hip-hop graduates now. We got niggas that's 50 years old that was raised on hip-hop. I listen to nothing but rap music, so I got to have me some shit listening to, too. I can't have a nigga in my ear going, you know, all that. You know, I need to hear some edification, man. You know, these kids out here, some of these niggas is rapping like that nigga from South Park. What's the little dude from South Park?
Kenny.
Kenny. Yeah, some of these little niggas sound like Kenny from South Park and just put a little auto-tune on it. And I say, man, this shit easy, motherfucker. No,
your ass crazy as a motherfucker.
I ain't knocking it, dog, because my son sit around this motherfucker and bump that shit all day and to try to tell me, man, I almost had to hit my son one day. He told me, I was listening to Scarface. He said, man, Lil Uzi Vert harder than him. Who is that? I said, Scarface? I said, man, you bite your tongue, little nigga. You know what I mean? And there ain't no diss with Uzi Vert. So y'all niggas out there, don't be clipping my video up talking about steel.
Nigga, you gonna go viral in a minute because nigga gonna get all in your shit with that one, nigga. I'm telling you.
Which leads me, man, into my next thing, man. How do y'all, just coming from the era that we come from, man, back in the day, you know, you go on a promo tour, you do an album, man, you 90-day setup, right? Now it's just like, man, this shit is just like, okay, we gonna put the album out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks, nigga. We're gonna put the album out tomorrow.
And in a lot of ways, it's better, man, but I ain't gonna lie, dog. I was talking to Mac 10 one day, right? And I was asking him, I said, nigga, get off your ass and go get back in the studio. He told me, he said, Still, I'm gonna be honest with you, it ain't the same no more. I used to like going out, interacting with the fans, going to go do the in-stores, and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? How it was before, when you get to interact with the fans, you go on promo tours, you go to different cities. He said, man, I'm just like, it's just not the same no more. Have y'all ever felt like that? Have you ever got to the point where y'all feel like, man, this shit is just way different now?
I mean,
you know what it is? I mean, what people don't understand is that we never stopped moving. So even after we did, we started doing our solo albums. Cujo put out a book. Cujo put out an album. T-Mo was still doing a lot of stuff. I went and did 5 years with Nelly. Low went and did 5 years with Danger Mouse. You know what I mean? So we still was kind of like in the mix of what was hot and what wasn't hot. And we was still kind of seeing that the industry was changing because of the content, you know what I mean? And what they were putting their money on, you know what I mean? So it was just a different experience. When I got with Nelly and we did a gold album, then 8 million, so it was still, we were still moving and all of us were still talking. So I felt like once we came back together, and then once Low did the Voice, we did a TV show on TBS. Then we was the first rap group to have a Vegas show. Low had the Vegas show at Planet Hollywood. So we were still doing things. I just think that the industry has just turned they head to the younger generation because they know they can go, like we just said, they can go pimp the young. When they when they see us and when we still being able to be here and still be able to be relevant without their help, they shine that. That's the reason why they started paying these kids millions of dollars, so they wouldn't listen to us. So if a kid around, see, most of these kids in Atlanta, they rich, man. Like this shit rich around here, man. These kids sitting around here on $6-8 million, and it's a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? And that streaming money, if you got 2-3 little hot little songs on that streaming shit, man, some of these kids can see $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a quarter. That's a streaming check, and I tell people all the time, us coming from the 90s, we don't even know what a streaming check look like. You know exactly. What I mean? So it's like when the kids, they like, oh, man, we getting millions off the street. We get millions off goddamn these deals. And we still, think about these kids. You can look at Lil Baby as an example. He been at the house a whole pandemic, right? He still made $19 million. In the pandemic, and ain't been nowhere.
That's the beautiful.
That's the difference in that shit that us coming from the 90s, we don't even know what that feel like. So just imagine talking to a kid that has sold over 25, almost 30 million records on his first 2 records. And he's sitting on that kind of cash. They ain't got what's the conversation? They've already beat everything we could teach them. But what they don't know is, hey man, it's gonna slow down. And when it slow down, that's when you're gonna need our knowledge. Cause when them folks get off you and you not the hot new chick no more, you're gonna see how that person that you thought was your friend, they ain't your friend. When that building change out on that next quarter and you don't know nobody in that building and don't nobody connect with what you're doing, you'll see, then you'll understand that you're in the industry of business. Cause as long as you got a hit record, it's entertainment. But when you ain't got no hit record, it's the industry.
Real shit. You just said the motherfuckers out there, a bar and a half. You just gave them a bar and a half. See, the thing is, man, with these kids, like you said, what goes up must come down, man. Don't nothing last forever, man. And you can really go out there if you're not careful, man. I look at these cats sometimes, man. They buying these Rolls Royces. As soon as they drive off the lot, $50,000, they lose $50,000, right? And then if they go put some paint on them, they don't fucked it up. Now they looking at things. So it depreciates. You have to invest in the things that do appreciate, like the real estate market in Atlanta is booming. So I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm proud, man, to see some of these little cats out there winning because they got that independent spirit, which came from, the South, from the J Princes and different people, the Master P's of the world. So these kids kind of came up, man, like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own shit because now, man, when we used to go to the studio, man, it was, you had 2-inch reels and shit, man. You had all this other shit. You had to go, really put some shit, you had to spend some money. You had to spend some money. Now these little niggas, man, they're going on their cell phone to make it. I heard a little nigga the other day that played me some shit. I said, where you do this at? Shit sound about right. He said, I did it on my cell phone. I said, God. You know what I mean? I said, damn, I wish they'd had some shit like back in the day, you know, because you had to go out and then you had to come to the studio back in the day with your shit already prepared because you couldn't go in there fucking off no whole bunch of time. You ain't had
Man, at all.
You had your shit already wrote and nigga, it's your time for your verse to come on, hurry up because we got running out of time.
I'm gonna tell you, OG. I really I thought the game started changing once that ringtone shit started. When that shit started, that's when I was like, the game changing. When Soulja Boy did what he did, I was like, wow. And understand that boy's still rich.
Exactly.
So when you look at some of these, when the game went out of the street, out of the promotional department, out of the street teams, it went to this telephone digital shit. That's when the game got tricky.
Yeah, for real.
Because I'm looking at a lot of people who popular now, and I'm like, damn, I ain't never heard one car go down the street play their music.
Exactly.
When we were
I say the same shit. Like, who ride down the street playing that fast ass shit? Or who ride down the street playing? I mean, can you see yourself like how we used to do back in the days, nigga? You roll down your window, you will hear somebody bumping some Goodie Mob out the car. You will hear a nigga like, a lot of this shit, I'll be like, who playing that shit? Because I don't hear that shit nowhere.
It's digital. All digital. They tell me now, they say, Gil, it ain't even about the radio, it's about the playlist.
Yep.
So it ain't even about the radio no more. And another thing that these kids got that I love is that they don't care about the awards. Them little trinkets that they used to just put up in your face and have you like, oh, I gotta have a grant. Them niggas don't care nothing about that, man. Give me the money, man. Give me the money, man. You can keep the trophies.
Exactly.
When you look at a kid that comes from our crew, when you look at Future and look at what he did, it's like, bro, they don't care really nothing about that. Look at what Drake did. When I look at how many, man, I've never seen an artist stay hot for 10 years, man. I ain't seen. Not like him. I've never seen. Not with the different type of records. Here, you're singing here, you're on the ghetto records, you're breaking new artists. It's just like this digital shit and gave a person who not gonna sleep an advantage over another person that's still on 90s time. So right now for us, when this pandemic hit, it gave us a chance to get in the studio and be like how we was on the first album. Ain't nobody moving outside. We can't go nowhere. We sat right there and we created Survival Kit in 4 months. No ghostwriters, just organized noise and us, no A&Rs, put it out ourselves. And right now, I feel like we broken the ceiling for anybody from the 90s. Because for us right now to have an actual song out, and it's on BET, MTV, and BET Jams, hey, bro, they said we couldn't do that. They said it was impossible. So with that being said, I'm so glad that me and my group and what the pandemic did, it woke Voltron back up. That's what it did. It woke us back up.
It woke y'all the fuck up. And the thing I like about what y'all did, man, y'all went back and got the OG Chuck D. How that shit go?
Cujo good.
Good.
Hey, bro, man, I had a line on Chuck D, man, right? But we had a track, right? CeeLo had laid he had laid a verse on the track first, and then he had like a little chorus going like, "Are you ready?" I was like, "Damn, that nigga Chuck D sound good on that shit, man." So, man, I just reached out to him, man, and he got back with me, man. I was like, shit, man, this shit would be awesome, man. If you could just get on the record, man, just say whatever you want to say, man. It don't matter, man. We just need your voice, man. He was like, nah, Cujo. It's like, man, you write what you want me to say, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? This y'all shit. So I sent him some shit. He sent it back. I was like, damn, well, that shit sound good. So I gave it to Ray Murray with Organized Noise. And he went in there and chopped that shit up so goddamn hard, man. It sounded like Chuck D was right there in the studio with us, man. You feel? So that was an OG call, man. Man, he came back with it, man. He said, man, I'm about to get ready to go on the grid. So, man, you right on time. So, man, shout out to the OG Chuck, man, for the inspiration, man.
Exactly. He's definitely one of all our all-time favorites. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, you got to pay homage to Chuck D, man. And this is what I wanted to ask CeeLo right there, right? Because you was a rapper. You were all y'all some rapping ass niggas, man. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all lyricists. You know what I mean? When that crazy drop, that was like the sound, like you know how you have certain songs that's like the soundtrack to a certain period of your life. When Crazy came out, I always think about my oldest son. He was just going to high school playing football and shit. And, that was a big record, man. You jumped completely, man, from that to damn near jumping off into some whole alternative shit, man. Like saying my favorite, you know what I mean? Like that shit knocking. Was it different on that other side, dog?
Well, I was the realest nigga out there, that's for sure. No, but I would say I didn't receive it like that. I received it as an extension and a branch, you know what I'm saying, like from the same tree, stemming from the same root. So it's all been an extension of Dungeon Family and what it enabled me to do, you know what I mean? And so, just always, trying to represent us the best, represent our best interests, you know what I mean? Like our ability, our reach, our range, and, stay connected to it. You know what I mean? Let's stay attached to it. And I say this a lot. I feel like we was able to stretch without snapping. You know what I'm saying? So It's really a testament to the elasticity of the understanding, and equality we had as a large collective. So, I had just always felt like it was just that time, it represented that time of, that time period of growth and development. That's just where I was. But I had done variations of smaller scales of it, with just keeping the hooks and keeping the melodies around. No different than what Nate did for Death Row. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I would liken it to. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a bit more expansive. I just elaborated a bit more on what I could do vocally and melodically. You know what I'm saying? And it worked. But the treatment was really no different because they didn't really know. They didn't associate my history. That's why I was able to stay solid through it, because I had the foundation. But for them, it's almost as if I fell out of the sky. I'm just another big black nigga that can sing with soul. You know what I'm saying? So they still celebrate that in places that I did, my baby, in places that I really translated and did well at, which was England and abroad. You know what I mean? Like, they celebrate soul music and black culture more than we do.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was looked at and I was heralded and revered and exalted as a genuine article, the real thing. You know what I mean? Like a Luther Vandross or a whomever. You know what I mean? Like right. One of the you know what I'm saying? So
that's right.
So the world gave me the greatest compliment, and I brought it on back home. Like I took it as an adventure, an excursion, a living experience. You know what I mean? Like, we went on the roller coaster ride and we came on back home. You know what I mean? So like, it was never about me going anywhere to stay. You know what I'm saying? It was about us going out as far as we can go and as high as we can go, planting our flag there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and claiming it as the victory and coming on back home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, big dog. You know how everybody put rumors out there, but ain't nobody talk to y'all. They just thought, yo, Goodie Mob got beef. They broke up. I ain't even gonna ask y'all about that stuff, man. How did it all come back together, bro? That's what I want to know. How did it all come back together? Did y'all just call one day, the Gip call you and say, hey man, we gonna get this cracking? T-Mo call somebody? Like how did that go down?
Well, big bro, I'm gonna continue on and say we stay in constant communication. A lot of people don't know the true historical account, but our history dates back, dates before music. Me and T-Mo grew up. We went to elementary school together. We went to nursery school together. T-Mo's about 3 years older than me, so those three gentlemen there, Gip, T, and
T-Mo said, hush on that right there, man. With that age thing, right?
You know, they graduated with my older sister. You know what I'm saying? And let's say me and Andre 3000, we went to elementary school together. So we've known each other literally all of our lives. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't easy for us to stay connected. And like, you know, it's a lot of love, a lot of respect, a lot of admiration. I mean, like, and you know, no matter what we accomplish individually, man, we remain teachable. You know what I'm saying? And so there's humility there, and you know we got elders, we got OGs, and man, like I think that's a structure that's lacking for the younger generation. But how I come up, you know, like I know how to get in position, and I know how to soldier up for the set, and that's what you know. What I mean, like that's what I do. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So you know, we had differences because we're men, and one thing can default to another. You know, because you can't do two things at once, you know, or you can't be two places at one time. So if my ambition was taking me here and there was a collective opportunity that got defaulted, yeah, there's friction, you know what I mean, and there's frustration in that. But that's circumstantial. That's not personal, and it's definitely not malicious or intentional, you know, in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't never get evil with each other, no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because anything I got out in the world, I definitely tried to share to the best of my ability, and the brothers can confirm that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, but we men and we artists, we got our own little egos, we got our own little entitlements, we got our own little, you know, ideas of how things should go. We just have to correlate them, and it's difficult. It's even difficult to do because there are no more 4-man groups like this, man. We the last one of them left, I think. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So. It takes time. It takes sacrifice. It takes patience and trust in the process, man. But you know, we here, man. You know, I'm gonna talk that shit to y'all today, man. We here, man.
It's just lovely that, like I'm saying, you know, coming from the era that I come from, and y'all being a part of that we can show motherfuckers that we, you know, that we can still stick together as grown men. And like you said, you know, you're a man. You're going to always have a stand your ground and your own point of view. But, you know, as brothers, you're able to mend fences and shit. And for the culture of, you know, the hip hop groups and that longevity, you know, it's good to see y'all, you know, put out this record.
Absolutely.
Man, it's just something. But the fans not gonna let you get away with it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like down there every time walking out my crib, first thing I see somebody that recognize me. It's like, man, y'all still doing music, man. When y'all gonna put another album out? Oh man, I love man, CeeLo, my favorite. Oh man, Gip, I love T-Mo. So you know what I'm saying? You get that pressure from your fans, and you be like, damn, shit, you know, this what the fuck I do. You right, man. You right. So you know what I'm saying? I guess niggas we get that shit at the same time, and then it's like, man, just gets like riding a bike again, man. We know, I mean, just for some reason, just like you were saying, Justice League. You know, we got damn that phone ring. Goddamn, it's time for y'all goddamn boy to suit up. Man. They're acting up, you know what I mean? Like the back's getting to go up. We like, dang, it's time to goddamn suit up. You know what I'm saying? Cause we got
there you go,
man. We do shit. We do shit, man. It's 24 hours in the day. Nigga trying to sleep for 8 hours. You know what I'm talking about? Then we got the rest of them hours to do what the fuck we got to do. Then we look up. They go to goddamn G-Mob symbol. Goddamn, hey, it's time to goddamn hit the lab, man. It's trying to got time to get down on it. Plus, this was our 25th year anniversary of Soul Food, the first album that we ever put out. You know what I'm talking about? With Organized Noise, and motherfuckers was giving us our flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like we like, damn. man, let's put another record together, man. That shit would be great for our fans, man. And we got came back up with Organized Noise, man, and got in there, man. That shit was just, man, that shit was glorious, man. That shit was magnificent, bro. That shit felt like old times, man, back in the dungeon, back in 94, 95, man. So we couldn't recreate a soul food, but we could damn near get close to it, man, with this survival kit, man.
Yeah, bro. Just how Cujo say, big still. Yeah, a lot of real niggas kept me real too on the street. Niggas be like, man, yeah, man, we like the singing shit, bro, man. But what's up with the
like, you gonna always get that shit. The homies like be like, yeah, I like that shit. That shit is cool. But motherfucker, when you getting back on that Goodie mob shit, my nigga.
Exactly. and trust me, I can do a lot and I've done a lot, but I cannot do. I can do a lot and I've done a lot, but I cannot do what Goodie mob do alone. So I'm not whole if we not together.
That's right.
All right. That's some real shit, man. And the fact, man, like you said, y'all got history together. Y'all dudes is brothers, man.
Yeah.
Y'all, man, when you got that history, it overcomes a lot of stuff. The thing I like about it, bro, on this show, we don't deal in negativity. We don't do the shock jock shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a real conversation, you know, as men, right? The thing I love about it, man, is as black men, y'all came back together, man, and handled business, man. It wasn't never, no, I ain't never see y'all out there taking shots at each other. I didn't never hear none of the bullshit, none of the shenanigans. It was just back to back. I'm like, oh, man, Goodie mob, man, no shit. You know what I'm saying? It's cracking, man. And I love it, man. And I definitely, man, what I'm going to do, I want y'all to, man, either we got to come to Atlanta or y'all got to come out here, dog. We got to do this shit in person, dog.
Yeah, I would love that.
I would
love that. I got to meet Mom James in person, man. Hey, you talking about?
Hey, 100.
I'm
100.
I tell my big bro all the time, man. You know, and I don't want to start tearing up right now, man. You know, y'all talk about the digital age. This shit don't save a lot of niggas' lives, man. And it's like, you know, you got stuff like this, like James, man. When we first came up with the concept for the show, man, and I saw him, I don't cry over a lot of shit, dog, but I was moved to tears because just from this brother's sincerity, man. And like, it's crazy because one day I'm on Instagram. You know how you don't check your inbox messages. I don't never check that shit. I go in there and Shaq don't send me like 5 messages. Mob James, OG Mob James, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. I tell James, he said, man, ain't nobody, well, stop playing. You know, Shaq sends me a video. James, you know I fuck with you, baby. You know what I'm saying? So just that stuff, man, it's like, man, that lets me know right there, man, that it's a need out there, man, for the OGs, man. It's a need out there, man, for the Goodie mobs, man, because what these kids crave, they crave knowledge, dog. No matter how foolish they act sometimes, no matter how they act, they looking for guidance, because you got to remember, dog, a lot of these cats ain't got fathers in the house, and it was different with us. Our daddy might not have been in the house, but we had that uncle that'll whoop your ass and punch you in your chest.
Yeah. Well, hey, Norm, you got to let them know, too. When he told me we had y'all and we were going to do y'all today, I told him bullshit. The nigga sent me a text with old girl saying, yeah, it's for real. They want to do the show. I'm like this, man. I never thought guys of y'all caliber be sitting there talking and fucking with me. You feel me? Just a regular ass cat, you know, and it's a privilege to be sitting here talking to you brothers and listening to y'all story. And, you know, he tell me a lot of shit and I'll be like, man, CeeLo, no, them niggas ain't fucking with me. They ain't fucking with us. And here we are, man.
What?
I'm sitting there talking to you brothers, man.
OG, man, listen, I watched every one of them interviews you did, man. So what OG Steele just said, that's how I felt too. I felt the sincerity, man. You talking about bruh, talking about Buntry. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? So, no, man, it ain't nothing but love and respect.
100.
CeeLo, what you got? Some shit?
Yeah, those interviews, that series of interviews that you did was so moving. By the time Gangster Chronicles come about, it makes sense to me because your image and your energy, it was captivating. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Real talk.
Yeah, man. So we not gonna hold y'all no more, man. we go put this album, man, in our because I'm starting a little Gangster Chronicles. You know, we got a little fans now and stuff like that, man. So I'm gonna start a Gangster Chronicles playlist, man. And we about to put this out there to the world. You know what I mean? We about to put this.
Exactly.
We about to put this.
Thank you so much. Thank
So
you so much, King.
Oh, for sure. Y'all have to come out. I'm gonna tell you, when I come to Atlanta now, I don't want it because y'all some real niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm in the city, dog. But let's get it in. You know what I'm saying? And we here.
Right.
Fact.
Right.
Hey, I want to put
Yes,
it out
sir.
there too, bro. We fucking around again. You know, we cook every so often, so I just want to put it out there and extend the opportunity and invitation. But let's go in together, man, and fuck around. I would love to.
Man, anytime, man. Just man, whatever we can do, I would be honored. So yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah. Whatever it is, folks, is another episode of Gangster Chronicles, man.
That's the Chronicles.
100 G brothers.
You know what I'm saying? We want to thank Goodie in the day, man. Peace, man. We love y'all brothers, man.
Man, y'all take care.
Too.
Man. For sure.